Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Niles here, and as you can see, I have my Carhartt shirt on, which means we're about to get really heavy today. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to dial in an absolutely nasty bass tone using only Modern Music Solutions Seismic Bass Suite. Now without further ado, let's hop right into it. Alright guys, so we have a session open in Logic, and it is a song that I've been working on lately. It's kind of in the vein of bands like 1056 or just any kind of Thal-esque like Odelholm style thing. And then as you can see, we have the MIDI bass muted in here, and that's because we're going to track real bass and process that. We might go ahead and process the MIDI bass and just kind of do like an A-B of the two later. We'll see, but first off, I'm going to show you a little bit of what we're working with here, and then we're going to get right to it. Cool. So yeah, very much 1056 influence. We got all the crazy noises going on in there and everything. But yeah, let's get right into it. I'm going to grab my bass and I'm going to get tracking, and then we're going to get processing. Let's go. All right, so I have my Schecter CV5 here set up in drop A. We are going to be pitch shifting this down to drop G though. So the DI might sound just a little weird from it being pitch shifted, but it shouldn't make a huge difference. Anyways, I'm going to try to nail this in the first go. Let's see if I can do it. I definitely did not nail it on the first take, so I'm going to do a few more takes of this, get some good ones down, get it all edited, and then we're going to move on with the video. I'll catch you guys in the future.
One eternity later.
Alright guys, so we have the bass tracked and edited, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what it sounds like completely unprocessed in the mix as well as soloed, which you're just going to be hearing the bass DI, but here it is in the mix. And then here it is soloed. So just your regular schmegular DI right there. We're going to keep this soloed for right now, and then we're going to go ahead and load up an instance of Seismic Bass Suite. All right, so I have Seismic open, and let's just hear how it sounds on the default setting. And let's hear how it sounds in the mix. Honestly, doesn't sound too bad, but I think we could dial it in just a bit more. So first I'm going to go into the EQ up here. I'm going to cut out a lot of those like resonant, hissy frequencies in the mids there. Then we're just going to give a little bit of a boost. Looks like probably around like 1.5K-ish, just to kind of give it a little bit more like attack in that high-mid area. And then I'm going to go ahead and make this a low-pass filter and kind of bring it down. Let's see. Probably about there. All right, let's keep going with this. Just boost the bass a little bit there, bring a little bit down in the 500K range over here. Let's see what this enhance knob does. I don't mind any of those EQ curves, but I'm going to just leave it off for now. I'm going to mess with the multiband over here a bit. Get a little bit of compression on that low end there. Let's get a little bit going on the mid as well. And just a tiny bit going on the highs too. Let's hear how that's sounding in the mix so far. Not sounding too bad, honestly. I think I'm gonna mess around with the contour knobs just a little bit. So I'm going to boost the highs just a little bit on the contour side over here. I don't want it to be overly clanky, but with a song like this, I do kind of want it to have some of that just really nasty clank to it. So we're going to boost that a bit, and then I'm going to just keep playing around with this a little bit more and get it more dialed in. Cool. I'm really liking how that's sounding so far. Let's head on over to the cabinet section, I think. Let's check this out really quick. I'm gonna solo this. Let's hear this. I kind of like it on the sub. Let's hear how that sounds again. I'm going to leave it on the sub on that speaker for now. And I do like the 52A on the other cab, so I'm just going to leave that. We're going to head on over to the pre-effects section, and we are going to start dialing in everything over here. So let's start working on that. I'm going to play around with the fuzz just out of curiosity. Honestly, let's hear how it sounds in the mix with the fuzz. I'm really curious on that one. I think I'm going to leave the fuzz on for right now. I do kind of like the way that it's making it sit in the mix. It feels like it's kind of just giving it a little bit more width almost with the added like harmonics from the fuzz. Let's keep going. Ooh. Even just engaging the overdrive on default settings is really making that sound so much more nasty. Here it is without the overdrive, and then I'm going to engage it on the second half of this riff. That sounds sick, in my opinion. We just kind of need to tweak it and dial it in a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's sounding really good. I like that you kind of get a little bit more of like the clank and like the pick attack in there, but it's not overbearing. It's not super like, it's aggressive, but it's not aggressive, if you know what I mean. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope it does. I like what the compressor's doing over here, so I'm not going to touch that and play around with it. All right, so we're going to move on to the Ultra Distortion, and we're going to kind of mess with this and get this even more dialed in. Let's make sure we turn it on. I may or may not have already been playing with it and had it turned off, so here we go. Let's bring the attack up to neutral. All right, let's hear this in the mix a little bit. All right, so I think we have this pretty much dialed in right now. So here it is soloed. And then here it is in the mix. All right, that's sounding pretty awesome in my opinion. All right, so as a little bonus for today, we're gonna go ahead and copy the Seismic Bass Suite tone that we dialed in on the real bass, and we're gonna put it on the MIDI bass and see if it translates. I'm gonna disengage this, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and copy and paste this over to the MIDI bass. We're gonna turn the MIDI bass on. I'm gonna turn Seismic off really quick, and that way we can just hear what the MIDI bass sounds like with no processing on it. So here's what that sounds like. All right, and then here's what it sounds like with Seismic engaged. It sounds pretty nasty in my opinion, but let's hear how it sounds in the mix and really judge how it sounds. So, in my opinion, I don't think it sounds bad. I think it sounds pretty good. You can definitely hear that in the high end, it is reacting a bit differently. The high end is a little more pokey in the MIDI bass than it is in the real bass. So that's something that we would have to go in and dial back, which we could go in and just maybe bring our EQ down here a little bit around there. We could even just dial the high back here, and even those couple moves would probably help it. Let's hear how that sounds. Yeah, honestly, even just those couple moves really helped it sit in the mix a lot better, really made the high end not as pokey, and all we did is just move the EQ just a little bit and turn the high down. Alright, last but not least, because you guys made it to the end, you get a little treat. We're gonna listen to the whole song. Let's get it. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already to stay up to date on future videos. And if you like what you heard in this video, head on over to Modern Music Solutions website where you can pick up a copy of Seismic Bass Suite for all your nasty bass tone needs. Now let me know in the comments below too. Did you like that bass tone? Was it nasty enough? Did you like it more on the real bass? Did you like it more on the MIDI bass? I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.